Oh, hi there, boys and girls. This is Mr. Tom. I bet you thought I was somebody else. Well, I'm actually dressed like somebody in the Bible. His name was Joseph, and we're going to read about him today. His dad loved him so much that he gave him a coat just like this one, very similar to this, many colors. It was beautiful, but it caused big trouble for Joseph. And so we're going to go read that Bible story, but God was always with him. Let's go read that Bible story. Joseph and his brothers. Jacob lived in the land of Canaan. God changed his name to Israel. He had 12 sons who would become the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is the story of his sons. Of the 12 brothers, Joseph was the 11th. He was next to the youngest, and he was 17 years old. And he was caring for the flock of sheep with his brothers. But he brought back a bad report about his brothers to his father, because his brothers were not taking good care of the sheep. Well, Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons. He made Joseph a very special robe, a robe of many colors, much like the robe I have on, a very beautiful robe. It was very special. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more, they hated Joseph. Look, here's a picture. Here's a picture of Joseph and Israel giving the coat of many colors to Joseph. And you can see some of his brothers in the background there, and they don't like it. They're very jealous of Joseph. But Joseph is very pleased that he got this very special robe. Now, Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about it, they hated him even more. He said to them, "Here is this dream. We were binding sheaves in the field." They were out in the field cutting wheat or some type of grain and binding it all together in what they call a sheaf. But they were out in the field, and he says, "My sheaf arose and stood upright, stood up tall, and your sheaves bowed down to mine." His brothers said, "Are you to rule over us?" So they hated Joseph even more. When Joseph had another dream, he told his brothers this: "The sun, the moon, and the 11 stars were bowing down to me." And his brothers were even more jealous of Joseph. And his father said, and mother said, "Are we to bow down to you as well?" Look, here is another picture. This is a picture of Joseph, and you can see the sheaves here, and the 11 sheaves bowing down to Joseph's sheaves. And then you can see the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bowing down to Joseph. Now his brothers went to pasture their father's flock. And Israel said to Joseph, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers." So Joseph went after his brothers and to bring word to his father about his brothers and the sheep. His brothers saw Joseph from afar, and they said, "Here comes that dreamer, let us kill him." But Reuben, he was the oldest. He said, "Let's don't kill him, let's put him in a pit." So when Joseph came, they took off the robe of many colors, and his brothers threw him into a pit. Let me show you another picture. Here's a pit or a cistern that would catch water when it rained, but it was dry. And you can see the brothers up here at the top, and you can see the coat of many colors that they took off of him. And you can see Joseph down here in the bottom of the pit. And he's so sad. He's so upset that his brothers would do that to him. And looking up, his brothers saw a caravan of camels on the way to Egypt. Then Judah, that was another brother, he said, "Let us sell our brother to the caravan. Let us not kill him, because he's our own flesh and blood." His brothers listened, and they sold Joseph to the caravan for pieces of silver. Then the brothers killed a goat and they dipped the robe in blood, and they brought the robe to their father. They said, "Tell us if this is your son's robe." And their father said, "It is my son's robe. An animal has eaten Joseph. He is torn to pieces." Then Jacob tore his own robe. He was so upset, and he wept and he cried and he mourned and he grieved for his son for a long, long time. And Joseph was sold into slavery into Egypt to a man named Potiphar. Let me show you another picture. Here's a picture of when the brothers sold Joseph to the traders that were going down to Egypt, and you can see that they're giving the brothers money for Joseph, and Joseph is so upset and he's crying out, "Brothers, please don't do this to me." Well, what's going to happen to Joseph? Well, God's going to take good care of him. But let's come back next week and we'll read more about Joseph and see how God takes care of him. Thank you for letting me read to you another Bible story. Remember that God loves you so much, and I'll see you next week.